Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting, Monday, November 20th, 2023. We're going to get right into invoices. We have 3 invoices. First is for Crystal Rock, $10.58. B&D invoice, that's for our Sharps pickup for $240. And an invoice for Happy Frog for $75. So I'll entertain a motion to pay these as presented.
I'll make a motion to pay them.
Okay, this motion, Andrew. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, so second, Tom. Any further discussions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, bills passed. So we have 2 sets of minutes, one from October 16th and one from November 6th. Now, the meeting from October 16th, we're going to do these separate. The October 16th, I'm going to have to, I'm gonna abstain. I wasn't here, so I'm not going to vote for October 16th. But do I have a motion to accept October 16th minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, motion, Andrew.
I will second.
Okay, second, Tom. Any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, that passes unanimously with Lyons abstaining. Then for November 6th, I'll make the motion that we accept the minutes as presented. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, second, Tom. Motion, Lyons, second, Tom. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay, so we have disposal system construction permits.
The first one, 23 Cottage Street, is a repair. They're asking for 3 variances from the board. Local upgrade approval from 310 CMR 12 to allow 3 feet to maximum groundwater instead of the required 4.
Okay,
A sieve analysis in lieu of a perk test from the DEP policy, and local upgrade approval from 310 CMR 15 to 11 to allow 15-foot setback from foundation wall to, instead of the required feet. They're putting in a heavy-duty plastic liner.
okay. All right. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept these variants as presented. So that's motion, Lyons. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second, Andrew. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. That
The
passes.
next 2 are new construction. 18 Daisy Lane, East Bridgewater, is a brand-new lot, and 112 Cedar Street, East Bridgewater. They're taking the house down and increasing from 3 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. So that's why it's new construction.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the new construction permits for 18 Daisy Lane and 112 Cedar Street. So that's motion, Lyons. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, second, Andrew. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So food establishment renewals.
There's a grid.
Oh,
Keep
it's a
going.
database. An
It looks
Excel.
like this, Andrew. It's in there. It's right after,
Rather than invoices?
Second from the end.
I'm sorry, it's near the end. It's the second from the end. It's the list of, list of businesses.
all applicants presented are complete on that, or it's the 2024.
So we have a list of open customers or,
So I keep
Open
an Excel,
retailers.
currently, right now, the way that we're doing still the food permit is manual. Next year, we're hoping that we'll be up and running electronically, so all of our establishments will be able to go online and complete the permitting process. But currently, right now, what you have in front of you are the ones that have submitted for their 2024 renewals. There is an Excel spreadsheet that I do have all 65 food establishments on, identified by the permit numbers as well as who paid for 2024 and who is still outstanding.
So we can identify how many have not applied for or have not been approved?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And then is there a process to shake that tree?
Oh,
send
yeah,
them a bunch?
the
Okay.
tree is, yes, they know.
Basically, 2 weeks before the end of the year, I call them and say, we don't have your paperwork, could you get it to me? And they have to get it in by December 31st.
Okay. All right, so.
No, you're gonna talk separately on that one.
14. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to accept the 14 food permits as presented.
I will move to accept.
Okay, so that is motion. Tom, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second Andrew. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay, so we have 2 hauler permits, one's renewal and one's new.
No. we don't need a holiday. Yeah.
I was asking her a question about
Okay,
All Seasons. I thought that was an installer, but he's a hauler too.
okay. So the paperwork's all in order? Okay. All right, so I will make the motion that we accept these 2 permits. One's for renewal and one is a new hauler. So that's motion Lyons. We have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, second Andrew. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. And then we have, let's see, oh, it's a renewal, okay, for a tattoo artist.
All paperwork is complete.
Okey doke. I'll entertain a motion to accept the body art practitioner permit.
I'll make a motion to accept
Okay,
it.
motion Andrew,
I'll second.
second Tom. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, that passes. Okay, and then we have our, which is difficult to grasp, but we have our 2024 schedule. Why not just go to 2025? Let's
I know,
put a
skip
couple
it.
years on. So we have our 2024 schedule. Obviously, the traditional holidays are in here.
So it keeps it the first and third Mondays of, traditionally, that the board meets.
Okay, so
And-
our first meeting out of Cape would be January 22nd?
Yes.
Okay. It's just the way the calendar falls. so-
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's another year in the books. Okay, so I will make a motion that we accept the 2024 Board of Health meeting schedule as presented. That's motion Lyons. We have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second Andrew. Any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay. All right, so we have on here Sharp's collection. We collect used needles. Sid, do you wanna jump in, or you want me to keep going?
No, that's, so we have, we collect used needles, as Rob was just stating. So we keep them in, there's a back room, back bathroom. What we have been lately getting 3 boxers. We're getting a little uptick in regards to collecting the shops. People, residents of the town can come into the Board of Health and place their used shops, no medication, no liquids in them, and then they can place them in the bin that we have in the restroom for them. And then what we do is we have a service that we use. We've been using the same service since 2012. And we have to give them a call them, they come and pick up the boxes. There is a $75, that's a standard fee, a $75 standard fee for a pickup. And then the company that we use currently, they charge $55 per box. We currently are having 3 boxes, so that hence the bill that you just paid, the $264, reflects that. We do have it in our budget, and it falls under, I think, medical service, no, health services. It falls under health services. We'll probably have to relook at that number going into the next budget cycle for fiscal year '25. I did reach out to our surrounding communities with the health agents in the HPHEG, so spoke with Middleborough, spoke with East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater. I didn't hear back from Rainham, but everyone there, everybody does things differently. Some Board of Health have it, others they do not. They have it with the fire department. Some have it on a monthly basis, they'll collect it only. One thing, though, that the ones that do offer it, one has it down in the recycling area of town. That's where
What town was that?
Halifax.
Halifax, okay.
Yep. So, but one thing that they all do have in common is that the shops need to come in a like heavy-duty plastic-resistant container. No water bottles, no thin plastics that they can puncture or anything like that. They would like to see them in the red bins, but as Jean Marie was stating too, not everybody has access to the red bins. You can go to the pharmacies or CVS or around and pick up those small medical containers. So I did reach out, so I reached out to the HPHEG health agents, found out their information, and then one of them, the Bridgewater one, told us about Stericycle, right? So reached out to them, got a quote from them. They're like $4 and something less than who we're currently using today. So if we went and used that vendor, you would get 13 pickups. They gave us an extra pickup, so 1 pickup a month plus an extra one. And that would run you $51 a box, that's for pickup, versus the one we're currently using is $55 a box.
Okay. So, with this other company, what's their process? Would they empty the box, or they?
Nobody empties the
So
box.
it's the same process, so this is just a monetary savings right now. We haven't found a company that will actually come in and
There's no company that would,
And
they'll just pick up the box.
yeah. And
I have no problem processing the box.
Okay.
so Jean Marie and I spoke. She's like, when someone comes in, I'll just make sure that they're a resident of the town. I make sure I ask them that there's no medications in the shops, or no medications are being disposed of, just the shops themselves, just to confirm. Then I show them where they can go ahead and drop them off. Jean Marie and I spoke, and that works for me. She's going to process them. Then we can pick up and then call. This is just informational now
Right.
for the board. You don't have to do anything with it. You can make a decision or make a decision not to make a decision in regards to it. You could just absorb the information that was given to you right now.
So I think, for right now, okay, let's talk about the process of are we currently checking IDs for residents?
No.
Okay,
And this, but one good thing that did come out of speaking with the surrounding communities, the health agents, they do keep a log. And it is actually, would be beneficial, just, it's a internal log only. They would have to fill out, anyone dropping has to fill out their name, their address, and contact information. And then that way there, you're saying that A, you're a resident, but B, if there's something, a mishap with anything, which we did have that mishap,
right, it is a true.
we have contact tracing.
Okay.
And that information is strictly, it's confidential, it's in the office, and you go from there.
Okay, so let's do two things. Let's put together just a quick packet for the board that explains this, you know, the new company, what the savings are. And that way there, when the agenda's published, you know, the board members will have enough time before the meeting to absorb it.
Mhm.
And then we can vote on it. We'll actually put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
And then, let's look at, did they send you a copy of what their log looks like, or is it just a standard name?
No, it's just,
Okay, all
I'll
right, so
just,
that's something we can put together. on
I would
Excel.
just type it up myself and have a
Okay,
regular
all right,
ongoing
so
log.
let's put a preliminary together, and then, we can flush out any changes that need to be made, and then present that to the board at the next meeting as well. And then
Okay.
we can vote on those two things.
I know Jean Marie wanted to discuss another aspect in regards to
With
taking in
sharps?
some shops right now with this.
Oh, we got, the office got a call last week about, from one of the schools, they had called the fire department to come pick up their sharps. The fire department sent them over to us. They haven't had a method of taking care of sharps, so they might have a large amount.
Okay, so
So-
this is one of the
so-
schools in town.
Not one.
Okay,
Yeah. So what I suggested, I talked to the superintendent earlier today, was that we arrange for pickup at the schools, because they may have a large amount. And then going forward, we give them one of those little red things, and when they fill it up, they send it up to us. So it'll be twice a year, we get it, maybe in December or in June. So they wouldn't be sitting around during the
so
summer,
what have they been doing with their sharps?
putting them in the closet for a rather long
But for
time.
how long? What's the closet look like?
Rob, I don't know.
Okay, all right,
Tomorrow-
fair enough. I mean,
I can
I'm
check
just-
that out tomorrow, but I'm assuming when someone says they want to bring up a whole bunch of, a ton of sharks, it would have probably been
Okay,
5 to 8
so-
boxes.
So let's talk through this for a second.
So I figured they do the one-time pickup, just like we have a pickup,
Yeah,
and it gets boxed up and red bagged.
so we'll schedule, if I'm understanding
They
this
can
correctly,
schedule
we'll
that.
schedule the company that we have right now
It doesn't,
to go
right.
pick up now. Does the school have the right boxes that they need to box the material up?
They would have to pay for and take care of that.
Okay, but right now, we're using a cardboard box that's supplied by the,
Right.
okay.
We don't
and
have
that's-
enough.
And that's supplied by,
No, we,
The current vendor that we're
Yeah.
using. So what, I spoke with the current vendor that we're currently using, and I did ask if they'd had any contract agreements with anyone outside of the Board of Health in the town, specifically the schools. They did not. What she did state is she could honor the same rate, the $75 fee, pickup fee, plus the $55 per box contract that she currently has with us, with the fire department, and they could offer it also to the school. So the school could have that also on their premises.
okay.
Um,
But to get through this one time,
To get through the one time right now, they gave it to the resource officer. The resource officer came in on Friday. She came in
Okay.
with a big bin, 2 big bins. So I said that I can take those.
so they've already brought them here.
They started to. So they brought 2 big bins. There's multiple more. I said that I can take, after Thanksgiving, I can take one a week to see where we are, because we're already going, we just had a pickup, and we're already in our second box as of today. So,
We're halfway through
but
the
we,
month.
that we were gonna discuss it with the board and see what we can come up with. Does the school have their own service with the same contractual rate that we have, that she stated that the fire department has as well? that's an option, or it's gonna, if they bring all of that over, I'm gonna be calling again next week.
It's
Okay.
not just that, it's transporting that much through the schools, up through the Board of Health office, when we can have the pickup person go directly to the school.
So, okay, so right now we have an influx of material that's been lying around.
Yep.
What we don't know is what the rate of absorption or utilization is gonna be once we normalize this. We'll get through
I,
this backlog.
I think it's gonna be every 6 months.
6 months,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, I want to clean them out in December and clean them out in June, so they're not
okay.
sitting around longer than that. Let me put it that way.
But
So you
then,
had a conversation with superintendent.
Mhm.
Is she gonna provide you a contact person? I can't imagine Liz managing this at that level.
No, we have-
Nurse or somebody
yes.
that you're gonna be partnering with
Right.
to manage this?
And it's a fairly simple thing to take care of, because I'm out there every 6 months to do food inspections. So you can kind of tie it all together if you need to.
Okay. Was Liz able to identify this individual? Have you been able to?
She wasn't sure how much either. They were just told this morning.
Okay, all right. So by the next meeting, we should have all those answers in a process in place for both the school and,
Right.
Mhm.
We get a
Plus here.
pickup the end of November usually, or the first week in December. So I'm hoping to kind of tag it into that.
all right, we also have to keep an eye on the budget line and make sure.
Yeah,
that-
I know. That's a,
so, okay. All right, anything else on Sharps?
no.
Okay, all right, so we got a little bit of work to do there, and then we'll get, when we publish the agenda for the next meeting, the board will have the information that they'll need to make a decision. Okay, health agent updates, Jean Marie.
Okay, hang on, let me get to the page. Doesn't look like it's been busy, but it has. I went out and did some more perk tests for 505 North Central Street. They are actually ripping down a bungalow at 2-bedroom capacity and going up to 4, so that's new construction. Repair assessment for 70 West Union Street. Plans submitted, we just went through. Systems under construction, I only have one going in, 582 Oak Street. No repairs going in. Food inspections, we've got some routine ones, and then I've had some things that came in that I had to take care of pretty quickly. Ocean State job lot, I did. We got a recall from the FDA on these applesauce pouches. They have lead in them. So, Department of Public Health sent out a notice and asked us to go and check. I checked our little convenience stores, and then also Ocean State job lot. I only found one in one of the convenience stores, and she voluntarily destroyed it. So we just got rid of it and got it off the shelf as fast as we could. Dunkin' Donuts, I'm still following up at Plymouth Street. They seem to have a chronic problem that we need to pull into control with the flies.
So they were, and I thought they told you this, but correct me if I'm wrong, are they on a regular,
Scheduled maintenance for
Scheduled-
pest? No.
okay,
And I have repeatedly told them they need to be, just like everybody else we have is.
okay. All right, and then, our fish smoker guy, any,
I haven't heard anything.
okay, all right.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him pop up again.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hopefully he's got the right,
He's got his information that he
Permitting in
needs to be
place.
permitting. NORs are notice of responsibility. We get those from Department of Environmental Protection when there's a spill or release. 140 Laurel Street, they had somebody backed into a transformer and the oil spilled out and it went into wetlands. That was the date of that spill was October 14th. It's being cleaned up. It's actually pretty much all set by now. But just to let you guys know, that's up on Laurel Street. IVO is in the vicinity of 530 Spring Street and all the way through East Bridgewater to Plimpton. Somebody blew a gas line on their truck, one of the diesel trucks, and it spilled and dripped all the way up the street, basically. that's being taken care of too. Just to let you guys know so that if, you get a question about something. Emerging public health concerns, mosquito surveillance has ended for the season. Ticks are still out there. I picked a couple off myself today when I was out doing parks. Vibrio has ended for the season. That's in water, mostly from swimmers. Flu, COVID, and the respiratory virus are increasing as we expected them to. Our 2-package COVID tests expired November 19th. You may want to toss those away. We have the 5 COVID tests that go until April.
Okay,
So if anyone needs them, come on up to the Board of Health office.
okay. All right, excellent. Gentlemen, any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Sandra, anything?
No.
Okay. All right, our next meeting is,
December 6th.
That's, usually I have that.
Well, you just went straight to 2024.
I
December 6th, I think, am I wrong?
think it is.
Does that sound right, guys?
That sounds right.
we got December 4th.
December 4th then, sorry.
We got December 4th and then the 18th, and that puts us off for almost a month. Actually, over a month. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and that concludes the Board of Health meeting for Monday, November 20th, 2023. And our next meeting will be at 5 o'clock on December 4th. So I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion to end the meeting.
Okay, motion. Andrew, do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, a second, Tom. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
All right?
Aye. Thank you, everybody, and that concludes our meeting for Monday, November